What's up, everybody? Welcome to Just a Little Salt, the podcast hosted by me, the Salty Paramedic. If you or anybody you know wants to be on the show, make sure to send a request to justalittlesaltpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to support the podcast and the work I'm doing for first responders, it's easy. Go on the saltyparamedic.com. Everything there, books, merch, resources, is built around this community. If you're looking for bonus episodes or content you're not going to hear anywhere else, make sure to join the Patreon. Go on patreon.com and search the Salty Paramedic. That support directly helps me keep bringing this content to life. Without further ado, thanks for listening. Here's the show. What's up, everybody? We got a new episode of Just a Little Salt. This one's a little different. I got 3 guys with me, but these guys are used to being together doing a podcast. They're from the Cool Fireman podcast. It's a group of guys that just meet and talk about, the culture, everything. So I'm going to talk to them, ask them some questions. First off, we're going to have them introduce themselves. Go ahead.
I guess I'll go first. I'm the last one to join the show. What's up, y'all? It's Brian from East Coast Kellys. No, that's actually my social handle, East Coast Kellys, Brian, and also known as the White Shirt Mafia of the group. So I am the deputy fire chief. One thing you'll learn, I'll go ahead and give the disclaimer statement. We are from all ranks and from all across the country, and that's what makes us unique. And so we love to share all the different ranks and all the different perspectives. So I'm the white shirt. I'm the deputy chief. I'm the guy who shuffles your timesheets and the paper clips. But I try to give that chief level perspective. I started out as a volunteer in 1998, and I've made my way up the ranks from all different seats, and I'm happy to share those perspectives. I like to think that I'm the guy who gives it through that lens and kind of brings it from a different perspective. I'm probably the guy that's the closest out the door, but the guy who's still excited to be here. So with that,
are you though?
Well, I don't know. It depends, because you and I keep talking about how soon we're going to go. So with that, I'm going to pitch it to Doug, the next guy who's ready to go out the door.
I'm Doug Bishop. These clowns have dubbed me Big City Doug because of how large my department is. I don't like it, but they ran with it and it's stuck. So that's me. I did a very little bit of volunteering in the late 90s when I was 17, 18 years old. Didn't come into the fire service until 12 years ago. Worked for a larger department in Central Virginia. I'm a truckie. I'm a paramedic, so I relate to a lot of what you talk about. And we obviously had you on our show. We've talked at FCIC, and it's nice to be able to reciprocate here. I'm the bourbon drink in the group, by the way, so don't mind me. I'm just indulging.
All right. I'm also known as Unky from UnkyCC.com. I'm a federal firefighter. I've been doing that for 20 years. I've been a firefighter for about 24 years. That's pretty much it. I'm from the federal side, and right now I'm sitting crash, hotspot, doing airport firefighting.
Okay. I'll chime in on that and say that Adam is also, third gen firefighter? Second gen firefighter as well. And then the other one who's missing is Matt. He's our West Coast station captain, smaller department, 3-station department as well. 4-station department as well, but he's also a paramedic station captain of the West Coast.
And Brian, as far as
mustache trimmed up and everything, it takes hours to get done.
Okay. That's understandable.
As far as retirement goes, Brian, I'm getting ready to hit my 20 years of service with VRS because, Cody, I came from the Department of Corrections world. I worked 16 years in corrections. So I brought some of that state time with me. So I'm 19 years and 3 or 4 months, I think, in VRS. So I'll have my 20 sometime this year. So
Doug's been in jail.
Yeah. Well,
he's from the D block.
If you do the math, I did about 3.5 years straight between, shift work and whatnot. Like about 3.5 years in prison is what I ended up serving.
We like to give each other a hard time. In North Carolina, we have to work a full 30. So July 22nd, depending on when this episode drops, I will finish year 24. So I'm there. If you count my volunteer time this December, I'll have 28 years. So
I might beat you at the door.
Hashtag ready to go. I'll just say that, right? Like,
for sure.
5.5 for me, and I think I'm leaving.
It's 25 in Kentucky, so I just hit my 10-year mark. I still got 15 years to go. But my dad, he got out at 20. It used to be 20.
If only,
So,
right?
so all of y'all, you've talked about what you've done, what you currently do. You're from all walks of the fire department, all areas of the country. So, with that being said, how did the four of you decide? Hey, people need to hear us talk more. How did the podcast come into fruition?
That would be Fireman Freddie. He's the one that brought every single one of us together in pieces. He came up with the name. He came up with the idea.
I came up with the name. Stop.
Okay, so I can start blaming you for it. Okay. No. So yeah, it was Fireman Freddie. He found us all on TikTok for the most part, except for Brian. I found Brian and brought him into the fold. That's pretty much how it all started.
Okay, and how long ago did it start? I know I was on your all's episode. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, we're 3 years in now.
Yeah. Okay.
Just over 3 years. We started early in the year, so just over 3 years. But it started with Freddie and Nick Hammond, Fireman 1231, who everybody knows. I started talking to Nick about some stuff. I ended up getting invited to his wedding. I went to his wedding. I was the only person from social media that he knew that showed up at his wedding. And that started a group chat. And then Unky got involved in it. And then I found Matt on TikTok and I added Matt to the group chat. And then Brian got in the group chat. And we all had iPhones. So I just named it the Cool Fireman Chat or something like that. And they were like, let's start a podcast. And I'm like, well, what are we going to call it? Well, let's just call it the Cool Fireman Podcast. So that's where it went. So OGs are Nick. Nick was one of the OGs. He's just way too busy. We get it. And Freddie has technical issues. Freddie's computer sucks. So he has up there in Michigan. It takes a long time for the data to download. So,
and the other thing that I want folks to remember is like we called ourselves the Cool Firemen, but really when it came down to it, as we sat and we chatted, like it's not that we think that we're the cool firemen. We aspire to be the cool firemen, right? Like as we sit around and we call it the virtual firehouse kitchen table. A lot of the things that we talk about is what we want to do, right? Like we all think about those things that make it the person that we aspire to be. And that's why we said it was like, there's little bits of every person that we know, every mentor that would make the coolest fireman. And so that's what we do. We sit around the table and we talk about all those little cool bits and pieces. And that's why it's the Cool Fireman. It's not that we're some a cocky group of four, right?
Yeah, we don't think we're better than anybody. It literally was the name of the group chat on an iPhone. And that's where it came from because we're unoriginal as shit.
Yeah, and every podcast, y'all don't have a guest, correct? Like sometimes it's just you four. So as far as planning, how does that go? Like, do y'all like say, hey, this episode, we're going to talk about this subject, or do y'all just go into it and just like
spaghetti on the wall, man?
Yeah.
Juggling Jello.
Or diarrhea, as I said. Last episode.
Man said juggling diarrhea. Like, who says that? Again, you got 4 to 5 guys from 4 different states that are all on different shifts. I'm 24/48. Matt's 48/96. Unky's a fucked up schedule. Sorry.
72/24.
Can I curse here? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the potty
mouth.
mouth.
Bleep it out if you can't. Yeah, it's fine.
We do the best we can in our group chat. We've tried different formats of, like, we had this sign up thing one time where it was like, hey, when are you available? So now we just kind of throw it out and like, look, man, what day can you go next week? And we'll get at least 2 of us if we can. Hopefully at least 3. If we get all 4 of us, great. Even 5 is even better. But we do the best we can. It's tough.
I will say to have 4 different folks and to be able to commit 2 or 3 every week for what now 36 months consistently is pretty impressive. Like, and we jokingly say when we're together, but like, after we have that meal or whatever at that conference, FDIC or whatever, we're like, man, we're proud of ourselves. Like, if nothing else, even if we're not monetizing as much as we want to or selling as many shirts or whatever, like, we're proud of ourselves for being committed to the cause of leaving it better than we found.
You're going to get a drop every week.
Yeah. That's for sure.
That's great. I applaud you all on consistency because I started this podcast less than a year ago, and I try to have an episode out every 2 weeks. It's hard.
It's very hard.
Especially with scheduling and finding guests and working with their schedule, and that's something to be proud of. With that being said, Is there any like dream guest in the future you'd like to have on your all's podcast?
I have one.
Mm.
Dennis O'Leary.
Mm.
I would love to talk to that guy.
Yes. Absolutely.
You guys gonna have it? You're just gonna be quiet on me? Or?
I was going to wait for Adam. I'm thinking he's thinking like WWE wrestlers. I know.
I'd also be good if Ella Langley came on the show.
I knew that was coming.
I would not mind.
Now, is that because you think you'll have a good conversation with her, or other reasons?
You smell nice when you're asleep. That's Adam's line, but
you smell different.
You smell different
when you're asleep. I'm sorry.
I used that at work yesterday.
That's a good one.
How about you, Adam? Who's your?
I don't know. You put me in the corner, but I'd probably say. I mean, I talked to him a bunch of times. The IFF president, Ed Kelly, but I wouldn't talk union stuff with him. I would just talk Boston Fire with them because
that would be fun.
He's such an amazing storyteller, very passionate, very big eyebrows, huge and fluffy like caterpillars. My wife calls them, "You mean eyebrows?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to sit there and chit chat with them about just Boston FD stuff.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
No, it's great. Out of all the episodes y'all have done so far, is there one, like, for people listening right now that hasn't checked out your podcast that you'd recommend they go listen to first?
I have a favorite, and it's been my favorite since we had him on, and it's still standing. It's Trevor Williams from the Williams Key.
I've had him on mine. Yep.
Dude, his background is amazing. Yeah. Just such a solid dude, and his story is so awesome. It's still my favorite one. I got the whole time I was like, it was just such a great conversation.
Mine would be, I know Brian's episode 55, but mine is.
It was actually, it's not.
It's not. Derek Fisher. He's the chief that I used to work with. He owns his own Christian themed apparel company. Me and Matt did that interview. Yeah. It was fantastic. Yeah.
So we talk about episode 55 a lot. Adam gives me a hard time about that one. But believe it or not, one of mine was actually one that Adam lined up, and it was a young man by the name of Jay Lyons. Jay Lyons. Yeah, Jay actually ended up passing away on vacation. And he was a rural volunteer firefighter training officer. And the words that he gave, you would not believe that he actually was kind of speaking truths that would really inspire people well after he was gone, and really just talk about motivating the next generation and about picking up and doing training, especially in the rural setting, when other people won't step up, and talk about stepping up and taking the lead. And it was just very tragic. Him and his wife went away on vacation, and he ended up drowning. But it was very, very tragic. But that one, very, very motivational. Now looking back, if you in the moment, it was like, it was a great interview. If you go back and look at it now, I would love for every single rookie class to go in there and listen to the passion of that young man, because I guarantee you, he had visions to come back and change the world. And so that one was very impressive to me.
He actually passed almost a year to the day that we had him on the show, if I'm not mistaken. It was
very close.
When the text came through, we were like, no way, dude. There's no way that happened. And
when I was on your all's podcast, I had no desire to start my own, and it kind of just happened. And I've got to say, I'm thrilled about it. For the main reason is being able to interview these guests, because I've never been more motivated as an individual, learning those stories and talking to these people, seeing what they've been through, what they've accomplished, and it's just so motivating hearing just everybody from all walks of life and what they've done in the fire service. So if anybody out there is listening, thinking about starting a podcast, do it. Reach out to people. I feel like it helps you grow as a person.
It's good for the service too, just to as many different platforms as you can get out other people's views. And I think we do a good job being so scattered across the country of, like Brian said earlier, just sharing those different views. But yeah, any of the senior guys you can get, like we talked to Frank Piscuso, like Brian, Unky mentioned, if we could get Ed Kelly, that'd be amazing. But like talking to those guys that have been around for a long time, like it really furthers the service and you don't forget where you come from.
Yeah. Frank's actually a big fan of us.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't get to chime in with my guest, and it was actually going to be Simon Sinek. If I could get anybody, which that's like totally unrealistic.
Matt would have said that to me.
Yeah, Matt would have said that because I think he really helps us. Matt and I love the leadership part that we talk about a lot, and so I would just really love to have him on.
What about Malibu, Matt?
Yeah. I know that dude.
He'd be fun. He'd be fun to interview.
I think it'd be kind of short though, wouldn't it?
Adam, I'm gonna say your mustache is getting a little long there, bud. Can't even see your lips anymore. I like it. Keep going.
I'm gonna keep growing. Like after Safer, I'm gonna trim it up. So I got a whole another month to go.
I like it.
I'm gonna pivot to Firehouse culture. Talk about that a little bit. You know,
my favorite.
Y'all have been doing it for different amounts of time. You've been in different parts of the country. Is Firehouse culture, in your opinion, getting better or worse compared to when you started?
We just did this question, didn't we? I'm trying to remember what my answer was.
Worse.
I think it's worse.
Worse.
It's worse.
Yeah. And I think the culprit, and I think almost all of us gave the answer because of our phones. And look, we're all social media guys, right? Like 100%. And we're looking for the likes. We're looking for the algorithms. But just last night, my wife's birthday dinner, I got to give props to the waitress. She could tell that like we were annoyed that it was taking forever, but she brought, and she's like, anybody play cards? And it was the most awkward thing that she could have asked. And she had little mini versions of cards to pass the time for something that was not her fault. So when you get forced overtime, you as a station captain, what are you doing to bring your crew together? What are you doing to change the culture? And I've said this a couple times on our show. We did things different all those years ago when I was on shift, and it's been a while. But like we played foosball, we played Uno, we played different things, and we just didn't go crawl back to our rooms and scroll on the internet. And I think there's a time and a place for that. But I also think, more importantly, there's a time to be unified together as a crew, because that's what makes you stronger. Doug talks a lot about crew integrity, and he could probably dive into that a little bit more.
I will take my crew against anybody in the country, and that's until somebody transfers out of there. I'll take mine against anybody. We're all really close. We're all same like-minded people, and I think my answer to that, I think what I said on our podcast was worse for one, the phones, but two, station design has changed, and it's become the Gen Pop bunk rooms are going away. The Gen Pop day rooms, everybody's got their own little space with their own little TV or their. I don't like that. I like. Unky's got a casting couch in his fucking bunk room. Look at him. Crew integrity to me is everything. And if you guys aren't hanging out after dinner and playing pickleball or watching a movie or playing video games, whatever, man, like if you're not that tight with your crew, that's the problem to me, is crew integrity. I'm huge about, again, I'll take mine against anybody. I love my guys. They love me, I hope. We all work well together. And that is huge for the culture to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I started at the age of 15, going up to volunteering. I remember being at my dad's department, working there, staying the night, and it's all one bunk room. I remember staying up, people just swapping stories or farting and laughing at people's farts. And then I go to college and co-op at a fire department that have individual bunk rooms, and it's like as soon as you get done eating dinner, everybody disappears.
Gone.
Just totally different. And luckily where I'm at now, we jive well together and get along and do things. We play pickleball and stuff like that. But at the same token, I'll go work overtime at a different station and everybody just disappears. I'm like, this is totally different. This is not cool.
Yeah.
How are you going to catch up on the department gossip?
I know,
there's
right?
There's something to say for a bunch of 30, 40-year-old men in the middle of the night giggling like little schoolgirls and throwing stuff across the room. There's something to say about
better.
Two things about what you said, Cody. One, farts will always be funny. And two shifts ago, so 4 days ago, I went to bed at like 11 o'clock. And about midnight, I wake up. I fell asleep with my AirPods in, but I woke up to, you guys have seen Diljat, what's his name? This is Punjabi, guys. This really popular song right now. I woke up and it is on the Bluetooth speaker in the bunk room as loud as possible. And I'm the only one in the bunk room. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And okay, all right, I'm at work. I'm in my bed. Oh, okay, that's very funny. But that's the kind of crew we have. Like, that shit's funny. I don't care if it's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. If they do that, it's funny, man. That builds camaraderie. Like, we love each other for that stuff.
You want to hear one better? I went to bed first one night, and they were playing something over the intercom. And guess what it was? It was my Instagram videos on repeat. I said, keep going. You're racking up my views. So I'll sleep through this. It's fine.
It's a half a cent every view. I appreciate it.
The music thing started about it's probably a year ago now. I'm old. There was a song when I was coming up by a lady named Adina Howard called T-Shirt and My Panties. And I would play when we go to bed. After everybody got in the bunk room, I had the thing tucked under my bed. I'd pull it out and it was already on, and I'd Bluetooth to it. And I would play T-shirt and my panties on. And it was hilarious.
And I thought that was kind of a nod to the John Boy and Billy. What was that guy's name? Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to search it. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna
Jimbo and
do
Bobby. But yeah, then I'd go to Jodeci or maybe some oh God, what was the other one? Casey and JoJo were from Jodeci. Who was the other one? Anyway, but yeah, it was always some smooth. Yeah.
I love it. Talking about the older generation, what's something you think the older generation got right that we shouldn't lose?
Oh, wow.
Sitting at the kitchen table after a fire, after a call, hanging out, just having a cup of coffee.
Conversation over a pot of coffee. Phones away, just dudes talking about the job.
Just talking.
Yeah.
Just talking about the job.
Yeah. I was going to say sitting outside.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. I love we have a huge picnic table out back on the back ramp.
Right.
We go out there. If it's nice out, especially after a job. That's nothing better. Nothing better than that.
I can remember many a night just sitting out there talking and not realize somebody looked on their phone and go, my God, it's 1:45. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Doesn't matter what kind of day you've had. Doesn't matter what kind of drama you got going on the shift. After a good job, I don't care what time it is, everybody is happy and together. And that's what they got right. They hey guys, we're a group. We need to keep that group cohesion going.
Yeah. On the opposite end of things, what do y'all think that something is that the younger generation is improving?
RIP. Motivation for me. A lot of the younger guys are really into the job, and I dig it. I'm into the job, but I'm into the job when I'm on the job. When I'm off, I'm not. That's my career, man. Like, I got other shit to do. But a lot of these younger guys, man, are just so into the job, learning new things that are actually practical. There's a lot of new shit. All the bells and whistles aren't what they should be. A lot of them are just fluff and garbage. But there's a lot of good stuff out there that is really beneficial to us. And those younger guys are really into that. And they just keep driving the service. So good for them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. I was going to say aggressiveness. In my generation, it was do as you're told, don't make any waves, nothing like that. And now, you see much more aggressiveness in just the way that folks are wanting to talk about fire attack. I can remember the statement "hit hard from the yard," and now I'm not saying that that's not the case, but that they're much more aggressive in going, in doing searches and their tactical passion, I guess, is probably the best way. They see it more as a craft, right, than a job. And kind of to Doug's point, I think that's a good thing. because in so many ways, people saw it as somewhere to come and collect a paycheck, not in a bad way, but just it was more reserved. They are owning the responsibility of saving lives, right? And they're putting the citizen ahead of themselves, and not necessarily in a bad way, right? They understand the balance, but they understand that if you're sliding the scale, citizen comes first over me, and that's not a bad thing. And I think that has been a recent shift where it's self over citizen. And I think that's because they're owning the responsibility to make sure that you are okay.
Yeah. There's a fine line there for me. It was always for them. We're always here for them. And a lot of the older guys, the vets, will say, we're here for them. Put yourself second to them. It's we over me. It's your crew. It's the public. It's your crew. Then it's you for me. And I think there's a fine line of that with all the peer support stuff we've got going now. And again, the I don't want to say the selfish self-reflection, but you do have to take care of yourself. But at the same time, they come before you do. So it is a fine line. It's tough.
Yeah, I talk about that all the time, how us as first responders have to find balance in our life. We are horrible at prioritizing things and properly allotting the amount of time that needs to go in attention to certain things.
In our personal life,
personal lives, career, family, everything.
Yeah. Put me at work, I can prioritize with the best of them.
Yep.
But once I clock out, I'm like, oh, shit, what have I got to do today? I got what's more important? I'm terrible at it at home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Talking about civilians, what would y'all say is the biggest misconception civilians have about life inside a firehouse?
That we work 24-hour shifts, that we sleep at the firehouse. And the people that know we do 24 hours, they don't think we sleep at all.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. And still in this day and age, people don't think, we do 24 hours and we sleep at a firehouse.
I also think that people think that you sit there all day.
I also
and just
think that people think that.
Yeah, sorry. In my mind, I was trying to think of how to say it, but that they sit there
really
and it did. That firefighters sit there all day just waiting on a call, that there's not these other ancillary duties that come along with it. So to Adam's point, that they're sitting there waiting, awake for that whole 24 hours. They don't understand that there's hydrants to inspect, training to get done, station duties, pre-plans to complete. Maybe you do engine company inspections, whatever.
I agree.
But they literally think that that's what you sit there and do all day long.
I agree fully with Adam and you, Brian. I think people don't understand the busy work that goes on. In my 24-hour shift, I'm at a busy house. We run a lot of calls, and we ran a lot yesterday. But we have so much other stuff that has to happen in that time frame that people don't understand. Like, oh, you guys just sit around and play video games, drink coffee, and answer calls. Well, yeah, but you don't come spend 12 hours with me. Just come hang out. There's a waiver you can sign. You can just hang out. You can route on the unit, stay on the unit, put this vest on, stay away, and just watch what happens and see what all the crap we have to do.
Somebody's got to take taxpayers' dollars truck up to Walmart to go get dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that
video. That video, man. The actual fire department reshared it after I posted, which was cool.
I love it. Good.
I love that part of my social media is just calling out videos like that and making people feel foolish.
And I love that the fire department encouraged
in a respectful way.
Yes, that's the main part.
Yep.
Talking about probies, rookies, what makes a rookie in your eyes instantly earn respect?
I'll answer that one because I go back. He waits to be told what to do, okay, in the right moment, and he does what he needs to do in the right moment, okay. And what I mean by that is that he learns, right? He or she, I should say, right? But in that moment, we talked a lot of times about departments who maybe someone comes from another department and they think they know what to do, and it's not that organization's way. And so they want to be impressive or to show that they have worth, and they can actually make themselves look bad in that moment. So again, you should know what to do, when to do it, right? When to stay quiet, and then also when to speak up and when to act. Adam, I stepped over you, so you were going to say something.
Kind of the opposite. I was like, what makes them good is they ask to learn, to be taught something. Because you don't have a lot of go-getters out there or self-starters. I'm not a self-starter. But if you come and ask me something, I got you. We're gonna go do that. You want to know what's on the truck, what this tool is, what does it do? Just ask me that stuff and say because I'm just going to assume you know it because you're not walking around that truck. I'm not touching it. So I'm going to assume you know it. So when you get on scene and you look like a ding dong, we're going to have words. But if you don't know, I appreciate that more. You come to me, ask me, what is this? What is that? Can you teach me this today? When's a good time that we can go over knots today? I'm all for those people that ask those questions. The good questions. There are some dumb questions out there.
Yeah, I've got two. One, don't be a goose. What I feed you in the morning, you shit out by lunchtime. It's gone. You forgot it already. If I teach it to you,
Like that.
I don't need you to shit it out 12 hours later, 4 hours later, 6 hours, whatever. Don't forget it. If I'm teaching it to you, if I'm taking time to teach it to you, I'm trying to pass it on to you. Respect that and say, you know what? I need to remember this. And number two, like you just said, Adam, I like rookies that ask questions, meaningful questions. Hey, man, why do we have a grip hoist instead of a come along? What is the purpose of that? Why do we use a jack instead of a strut?
Why do we do it this way when they taught me this way in academy?
Absolutely.
Great question.
I love that question because ISTA wants you to do certain things, and VDFP, Virginia Department of Fire Programs, wants you to do things a certain way. Now, when you get in the field, shit is different, brother. I want you to ask meaningful questions respectfully. I love a kid that's inquisitive. I say kid, a rookie, a new guy, probie, whatever, that's inquisitive and wants to learn the right way. Those are great. That gives me that. I respect the shit out of those guys.
I had one more question on firehouse culture. Is there a firehouse tradition in your all's eyes that you think deserves to disappear?
Ooh.
There's my mic. Drop.
I got one. I'm gonna let these guys go first.
You sound like you're in a porta john anyway. Go ahead, Brian.
So this question actually came up recently on one of our episodes, and I'm going to give it again. So I believe that the tradition that needs to die is that when you do a station tour or you do a pub ed event, that the rookie doesn't need to be the one to explain, that the captain should lead from the front and show him, kind of to the last question, how to do it, right? Mentor them, teach them, let the experience lead the way. Give him, because some of the best public education from a guy that's predominantly has had a career in public education is given the experience, right? And so when you get that kid that, and I say that as a literal statement, that most rookies are kids are coming in there, they have no experience to lean on. So they're going to use technical terms that they learned in the academy that some 5-year-old's not going to know, right? But you've got that captain who's got 20-ish years of experience that knows how to talk to kids, has their own kids at home, has gone to the call, and can lean on all that experience. Let that tradition die. Don't be the guy that sits on the front bumper and watches the rookie fail in front of a group of kids that aspire to be you. You be the one that shows them, because you're going to earn street cred, not only for those kids sitting crisscross applesauce staring up at you, but for the rookie standing behind you. And I think that's one of those things.
You can still say sit Indian style.
Yeah, Indian style. Well, my wife's a teacher, so I had to do crisscross applesauce.
Native American. Brian, I'm similar. Is I think it needs to die that the rookie's responsible for everything. I expect you to make coffee. I expect you to wash the bath mats. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it, house duties, dishes, cleaning, all that after meals, all that shit is a crew responsibility. The rookie does not have to do all of that. And I that's the dumbest thing in the world to me, is to ask a new guy, hey, man, go slave for us and do all this crap, whatever. That's bullshit to me. It's bullshit. Get the ice. make the coffee first thing in the morning. If it's middle of the day coffee, whatever, man, cool. But every morning, your shift and the when you're off going, I expect you to make the coffee. I expect you to unload the dishwasher if it needs to be done. But when we're doing house duties and clean up, bro, that's not, the rookie doesn't do all that by himself. That's garbage.
Mm-hmm. They say, I've seen crews that push the rookie to do all that stuff, and they don't have time to train or anything like that and learn anything.
Exactly.
They're too
You're
busy
just
doing.
you're demoralizing the kid with bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree with that.
This is
let's
our
move on.
house.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's move on to leadership. What's the hardest leadership lesson you've learned?
Sometimes you just got to draw the line from I'm your friend to I'm in charge. Mm-hmm. You really got to draw that line. We can be friends all day long, but sometimes people I've seen, they still want to be your friend on scene. No, that's a different person. That's an officer. That's a lieutenant, captain, chief. That's how you're going to address them, how you're going to talk to them, and you're just not going to talk to them like a friend. Mm-hmm. And when I've seen officers don't want to make the hard decision, higher ranking officers, because they want to be your friends. No, you're not being mean. You're just drawing a line and keeping everybody in their swim lanes. That's one thing I see.
Brian, this is right up your alley.
I was fighting it because I didn't want to jump in. You see me looking down, right? Like I was like biting my tongue. The biggest credibility or credits you'll earn, right, in your bank account for your crew will be admitting when you're wrong. And when you are man or woman enough to go in there and admit your failures, it shows that you're human enough and that you're empathetic enough that they can come to you when they're wrong. And to the team speech kind of that Doug gave earlier is now it builds trust. And trust is the one thing that you can't put on a fire truck. That's not in a med bag. That's not in the kitchen cabinet. That's not in the gear locker. It is nothing that the fire chief can budget for. And so the leadership trait of just going in there and say, hey guys, I said we were going to do this, but the chief called and we got to get it done. And it's like, that's a bunch of crap. We got to do whatever. And it's like, hey, I'm sorry. I missed it. We got to do it. Like, don't pawn it off, own it, or whatever it is. Right. Or, hey, I don't know, just insert any issue. Right. And that builds trust, and those are credits. There's a lot of leadership stories that talk about earning and giving and building trust credits. And nothing is truer than in the fire service. When you start talking about going into these IDLH environments and environments that can kill you, you want to go in with somebody that you can trust and somebody that, that is willing to give it its all. And when you can go and say, hey, I screwed up. It says, and we have fear that when we say that, it shows weakness and it shows our inabilities, but it also shows humility. And again, in that moment, I think it shows that we can learn off of each other. And so that's what I would say.
One of my main hobbies is I coach girls softball. There's a trophy right there from a tournament we won 2 weeks ago. And me and my two assistant coaches, our biggest preach to them is the best ability you can have is accountability. And if you're not man or woman enough to say, I screwed up, like Brian just said, hey, man, I screwed up about something. And Brian, you took it another way of, hey, I forgot this or whatever. But if you make a mistake on a scene or you know, whatever, you got to be able to own that. And to me, that's the biggest leadership mistake, I think is what you said. I learned was, look, man, when you're riding a seat or you're the boss or your boss is talking to you, if they can't take accountability, it's a problem. But you have got to have the best ability you can have is accountability for me, and accountability for yourself, your actions, your words, all that. That's the biggest leadership thing for me.
I love one of your famous lines on the podcast that we did.
I got a lot of them, brother. I got a lot of them.
You're seeing cheetah stretch.
Belly button deep is probably my favorite, but my second favorite is, thicker than a Snicker, I think, was actually probably my number 2. But we'll go to number 3, which was you inspect what you expect. That was probably my third favorite of your lines, Doug.
I'm talking probably 2000 was when I heard that. An old assistant warden told me that. I had just made captain at the prison then. And it might have been 2001 probably. Yeah, it was 2000. No. Yeah, late 2001, because 9/11 had just happened when I got promoted. So 2001. He said, Doug, he said, I will leave you with this. We had a nice conversation because I just got promoted. And of course, he wanted to talk to his new captain and whatever. And he said, always inspect what you expect. He said, if you expect your people to do this, you need to check and inspect that they are doing what you asked them to do. And he said, it can be that minuscule. He said, it's not micromanaging if you're inspecting what they're doing. He said, just inspect what you expect. And that stuck with me for the last, 25 years now?
Okay. So the question was, what's firehouse tradition should die? Wasn't that it?
Yes.
Okay. I want to take it a different direction than all y'all.
No.
What?
No, we're beyond that question, brother.
That was the one before my camera messed up, I think. Yeah. Sorry.
I didn't answer that one, but I'll tell you now. Stop using Italian dressing to marinate chicken. Sucks.
Put some of that Elizabeth salt and coastal Cajun on it. My God.
Ain't nobody doing zesty Italian no more. Get out of here with this shit.
Let me tell y'all, when I worked at Logan's Roadhouse, we marinated all the chicken with Italian. I was burnt out on that.
Dude,
that's all we did every morning.
Let it die. That's so lazy.
I love it. Yes. I just tested for captain, so I really want to hear your all's thoughts on this question. What's something new officers often get wrong?
Oh, I'll take this approach. They don't work for you. You work for them. You're there to make sure their training's done, that they go home, that they have the tools that they need. Something breaks in the truck, you're the guy that's got to make that phone call outside the firehouse. Mm-hmm. So you got to also look at that in that perspective. They don't work for you necessarily. You're working for them.
Go ahead, Doug.
I will go to something you said previously, Unky. It's gone. Yeah, Brian, go. It'll come back. Holy shit.
I'm going to go to what you said, and it's gone. I like that. That's the liquor talking.
I'm not going to blame it on the liquor, but it's probably the liquor.
So I mentioned this on one of the other podcasts that we had, and I got it back. Write it down. Don't forget it. But I loved one of the ones that we said recently, which was basically is, if you give me a sword, I'll go down the hallway and I'll fight for you. Right. But you got to remember that there are battles worth not going to war over. Right. And I think that a lot of captains want to go to war every time for their crew because they think it builds credibility. And that's not always the case. But they don't also realize that sometimes they're carrying a wet noodle down the hallway and they really don't have a sword. And they're going to go down and they're going to die. And they don't understand that. And, there are times to go to battle and there's times that you don't. Sometimes when you go down the hallway, what you need to get is clarity. And that'll win the war back at the table way more than winning the battle down the hallway. Because a lot of times, and we've talked a lot about it on our podcast, is that when you get clarity, everybody wins. The whole organization wins. There are selfish fire chiefs, deputy chiefs who are all in it for themselves and the gloat and the peacock feathering and everything else. But the majority of the fire service wants to leave it better than they found it, and they want to do the right thing for the community. The majority of them do. Unfortunately, when we mentioned this recently, is we over communicate and under understand. I'll say that again. We over communicate and under understand. And so if we will, instead of trying to see it as a battle, and we go down there and we go for understanding, we'll come back and we'll win the war differently. And so that's kind of what I would say.
So I got it back. Adam, you said previously it's drawing that line between friend and boss. I think a lot of early new supervisors get that wrong. They jump in too early to being buddy, or they don't have. Every new supervisor I've gotten in my 12 years at my department has sat down with me and we went over their expectations. And I think that has to happen. So I think drawing that line between, hey man, I'm your boss at the end of the day. I'd love to be your friend still. That's great, but understand that I have a job to do. And I think some, not a lot, but it happens that they get that wrong.
That's what we're going to talk about expectations. I don't expect to have that conversation with you on day one. You need us because you're usually coming from another firehouse. Give it 30 days. You need to see how everybody operates first before you start implementing changes. And if there's something that needs your attention right then and there, take care of it. You need to sit back for 30 days and watch how everything goes. So you understand people's personalities, so you know how to talk to them. So that's one thing that the new officers need to do.
Yep.
Love it. We're going to shift to a little friendlier segment right here, a friendly roast segment.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be good right here.
I like roast.
Out of all you guys, who shows up latest when you record all the time?
Adam. 100%.
Me.
He's pooping.
Next
I'll be
question.
pooping. Who's the biggest diva in the group?
Brian. Brian.
Next question.
I was going to say who talks the most. It's me, but I didn't think I was going to get the Diva award.
My next question is who takes the longest to tell a story?
Brian.
Me. I'll own that one.
Use lots of Chiefs words.
Who gets made fun of the most?
Me.
Yeah, those two. It goes back and forth. It goes into the big CD stuff, and it goes into the Chief stuff.
Sorry, that was the sound of freedom flying by an Unky back there.
Which one of you would make the worst chief?
Make what?
The worst chief.
The worst chief. I hope it's not me.
I think Doug would make the coolest one because everybody would have cowboy hats and hoodies.
You goddamn right we would. First order of business. Shorts, hoodies, and cowboy hats if you want them.
Yeah.
I love it. Talking about firehouse food real quick. Also, I know some of y'all like to cook. What's your favorite firehouse meal?
Oh, jeez.
Huli chicken, man. On the grill. Everybody loves that. A little sticky.
There was something
Hawaiian thing?
Sweet, salty.
Yeah, I love it.
There was something about grilling steaks on Sunday at Station 3 for me. I loved it. It was a Sunday tradition. No. This was back when I was a firefighter. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
But there was something about our crew grilling steaks on Sunday afternoon. I loved it.
It's my garlic Parmesan chicken wings.
Ooh, I love that.
What about
They're
you?
I just got to ask, what's huli chicken? I've never heard of that in my life.
It was chicken. Those recipe was designed in Hawaii, not by a local, by a military guy, and he just open flamed chicken. Came up with this sauce. Website. The recipe's on my website.
I guess it was in the burn box, I think, too.
Yeah, it was in the bird box, and every time the chicken rotated on the rotisserie, people would just yell out "Huli" every time I rolled over, or something like that.
Refresh my memory, Adam.
Story, but it's more like a Hawaiian tradition.
Refresh my memory. Was it breast or thighs? I cannot remember. I think it was thighs, wasn't it?
I'm a thigh man.
I was going to say, I thought it was thighs.
Yeah.
You can do anything on the chicken. The whole chicken, the breast, the thigh. It doesn't matter. But I particularly like to use boneless, skinless thighs.
Yes,
when I do
absolutely.
it for the crew.
For sure.
I thought
it was.
Some thighs are just so tasty and thick.
What's the worst firehouse meal y'all have ever witnessed?
Worst one.
Oh, I got this.
Worst firehouse meal.
Yeah. I had a battalion chief who loved spaghetti all the time. And one night he decided to put imitation crab meat in it.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. And
You should
everybody's
have put
like,
him in jail.
yeah, he like it wasn't even real crab meat. Like it wasn't even like a Spotabee chicken or spaghetti.
It was pollock.
It was terrible. Nobody ate it.
Jesus.
Wow.
Well, I the worst one I've seen is also spaghetti, but I I wasn't detailed to a station. So I had to be dropped off because somebody else had to go to an in-service or something. So I was there for the day. And I looked in the crock pot on the table. I'm like, oh, cool, man, crock pot. Let me see what we got going on here. Spaghetti sauce. Oh, cool, spaghetti sauce. This dude put the meat, the spaghetti sauce, and the hard noodles in the crock pot and just hit the button. Disrespectful. But my personal worst was, and my crew will back me up in saying this, a fella at my station tried to make hibachi one night. We make hibachi pretty often, and we do it really well. Well, this guy tried to do it himself without our input, and it was the worst shit I've ever thought about eating. I got detailed that night, so our details are at 1800. We normally eat at 1800. So if somebody has a detail, we normally eat a little early. So it's like 5:45. And I go in there in the kitchen. I shut the medic down. I go in the kitchen and get ready to make a plate. I'm like, I'm not eating that shit. And I just left. It was disgusting. Everything was in a separate. Everything that he cooked, like all the vegetables, all the meats, the rice, everything was in a separate bowl and unseasoned and no sauce. And I was like, what in the fuck is this, man? I said, I'm not eating that shit. And I walked out and they were like, what the fuck? And the next day they were like, dude, you pissed him off. I was like, I don't care. Don't let him cook again.
Yeah. That's not right.
I've always been at the houses that couldn't cook. I was the lead cook. I cooked all the time. And then when I went to my last station, everybody's a great cook. So it's only time you had a bad meal is when somebody just put the burgers on there and they literally just left and it's engulfed in flames. And I watched it. I watched it start catching fire. And I just walked around the long walk around the station. I was like, oh, we're going out tonight. And we did. You burned all the burgers and you took us out to eat.
Nice. I got to know, out of all your years in the fire service, what's the favorite prank y'all have ever witnessed that you can talk about?
Nice disclaimer.
So I'll say this. It's got to be the flour on the fan blades. So previous shift, we had a day room, Station 3. They always had the fan going on in the day room. And this particular day, it was a Saturday. We had station cleaning and my captain decided he was going to stand there. I'll never forget. He kind of put his hand like in his pants line on his hip, the left side of his hip, reached up with the remote, hit the fan, and just this huge white cloud just poof, right there in the middle of the bay room. And you had to know my captain because he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So he's sitting there and he just starts laughing, right? And like hysterically just starts laughing. And all you see is just this white powder and this white plume of flour. That's probably the best because he was the type you did not play jokes on him, but it was had on him and he really had a good time with it.
Antiquing will never get old. My favorite is always taking the bolts out of the bed frame. Because the last time it happened at my house, this kid got transferred in. He wasn't a rookie, but he got transferred in. So he was the new guy on the shift. And he's actually leaving this weekend. This will be his last day with us. But he's going back to the hazmat station. But we took only one end out. And he gets into bed at like midnight. And everybody else is already in bed because we know what's coming. just one end falls. It's his feet. And he just says, fuck it. He just, all right, I'm going to sleep. So he just slept there.
I was going to say, I know he did not move it. I was going to say.
He just slept there. 30-degree angle all night. He was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
That happened to me. I was at a technical rescue station on my truck. We were the tech team, and we had hydraulic rams. And they came in at 10 o'clock at night, the air rams, when I was sleeping, and jacked up my bed. I woke up, and the guy's right here. He's like, hey, he's right here in my face. He's like, hey, what's up? I said, nothing. And I just rolled over and they lifted me up and fell. Slept on it all night. But the last department, when I started, back when I was with the city, one of the stations in a rural area. So they would go over first thing in the morning, shift change is happening. I'll go on shift, tell the big shift, like, hey, you're going to be a busy day today. You got to go here to the garage, this, that, other thing. So they would leave. They would go across the street, grab a couple of chickens from the farm, and throw it in the captain's bedroom. office. And it was just crap and shit all over the mattress, all over his paperwork.
My God.
Oh my
whole
God.
day of like
We
3 or
gotta
4
fight.
chickens in there.
We got to fight.
I
will add this. The same guy that we did that to a couple of shifts ago, a week or two ago, he was the first one to bed. So we went in there and took an extra mattress and just threw it on top of him. And he also just said, fuck it. He just said, I don't know what time he woke up and threw it off, but he went back to sleep with the mattress on top of it.
So I got to tell a funny story about sleeping. So I was a rookie. I transferred around. This was when very, very early on. I slept on a folding chair for probably 2.5 weeks, but our mattresses were so crummy, I didn't even know that I slept on a folding chair for like 2 weeks worth of shifts. And so the guy who transferred back in, the very first night, he was like, who the heck put a folding chair underneath my mattress? He was a driver. And I was like, the guys on the crew were like, man, we did that to Kelly like 2 weeks ago. Like, we forgot about it. I didn't even know. I just slept on it for like 2 weeks.
Damn. Yeah, I'll tell you all this one. I was 15 when I first started, and my dad's sergeant, he had the worst smelling farts on the department. And I was sitting there eating a tuna salad sandwich at the dinner table, and he grabs an empty paper towel holder, and he farts into it and cups the end, and he walks over to me and blows it right in my face.
Oh, my God.
I was gagging so much.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I just got one more question for you guys. You're big on social media. You got your podcast. Considering all that, has social media, you think, helped or hurt the fire service overall?
Doug, you start on that one.
That's so hard. I'm like a yellow light on that, man. It's been really good, but it's also been really bad. I think you just take it with context. You have to read between the lines of what people are pushing and what they're saying. It's really good and really bad. There's a lot of there's one guy I've been seeing on TikTok recently, and oh my God, I don't even want to. I'm not getting into it. He shouldn't be on TikTok. Put it that way. Making the fire service look bad. There is a lot of that going on, but at the same time, there's so much good training being put out on social media, and it's a great way to share to the masses. But again, like our podcast, everybody has the ability to do that. So who filters that? You have to be the filter and say, all right, this is bullshit. Scroll past or block or whatever, or that's really useful. I'm going to take advantage of that. So you have to be your own filter and figure that out.
Adam, what about you before I chime in?
He said he was a yellow light. I'm a medium wash cycle on it. It's got a lot of good training, and even the negative parts. And it's just to a point. I think it's good because that guy's a douche. That guy's a jerk. I shouldn't be listening to him. Make sure that I filter them out. Because there's a lot of those cats out there.
So like we mentioned, we've been going at it for about 3 years, and we had a couple of videos that really went nuts. And I can remember, and I really wish Matt was here to answer this one because he filters a lot of our questions online, and he does the little snail mail segment. And
you didn't want to be here tonight because you did volunteer time.
Yes, that's right. You got to throw that in there. So I think what I would say is we learned to quit reading the comments on our social media posts because usually those are the keyboard warriors. Well, and what we look at.
Let me interject.
Doug's doctor said he needed to stop looking at him. His blood pressure was getting too high.
We didn't quit reading. We just started filtering.
That's probably a better way to say it.
What we engaged with.
Yeah, what we would engage with. That's probably a better way to say it. I don't say we don't read. We do read, but we don't engage with the hatred.
And I personally started blocking a lot of that shit immediately. Like, I'm not going to engage with it. I'm not going to give you the recognition you're looking for. I'll just block it and be done with it.
But what we did do was we look at the likes. And what we find is that the majority, right, proportionately, people are agreeing with what we're saying. And so we were, there was a time when we did some little self-reflection. We're like, man, when you read the comments, it's like, man, all these people are like, is our mindset wrong? Are like we not right in what we're saying? And then you look at the likes, and proportionally, it's so much more to the majority than it is the minority. For the people that are just double tapping and going, hey, you know what? You got it right. It's kind of like if you look at the number of people who visit a restaurant and pay versus the number of people who write a negative review. Right? People aren't going to slow down enough to write a negative review who are going to go against the grain. And that costs you nothing. And so the keyboard warriors who don't agree with it. And so to that point, I think, has it helped? 100%. And we've talked about it a lot for views and engagement. It's a lot for us to get together 1 week or one time a week and record. But if you look at our number of our views and engagements, we would be filling auditoriums every week. And who would have thought that, right? Who would have thought that 4 guys getting together would fill an auditorium every week, get together around a kitchen table on a stage and talk about the fire service and really leave it better than we found it. And for the majority, they agree with us and they feel the same way we do. And so for that, I think we're better for than the minority against. And that's kind of the way I'll answer that question.
I love all the friends I met.
100%.
Cody came to my hometown. I came out and supported him.
Yes, he was there.
I mean, you got to admit, Cody, it's so cool to go to FDIC and connect with people on social media and places like that and have people who appreciate what you're saying and connect with you and engage with you. I never in a million years would have thought that would have happened. Have people come up to you and say, man, I've been listening to you guys since you started. And you're like, wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, not this past FDIC, but the one before was the first one I went to, and I just went for 2 days with a backpack to hand out some books. And it was a surreal experience, but I went this last year and was able to do a lecture, and then I had my own booth, and I brought my mom and dad and my wife with me. And my dad, he's my hero, man. Like, he was in the fire service. He was the reason I got into it. And to take him and him witness, like, people coming up to me saying, like, my stuff has helped them, like, that was just a surreal experience to me. Just people from all around the freaking world. It's just, oh man, I can't even begin to explain how cool that was, for my hero to hear that.
Yeah. The humility of it
gave me goosebumps, and I'm not even the dude, right? Like, that's pretty impressive.
The only thing I hated was at my booth, I'd had people come up and ask for pictures. Yeah, cool, awesome. Well, my dad was the guy taking all the pictures for everybody, but he kept telling everybody they're free, but it's $1 if you touch his butt. he told like 500 people that in Indianapolis this year.
Wait. So how much money did you make?
I made about $500. No,
hell yeah, brother! Dad pocketed it all.
Yeah.
Nice.
I made enough for a $5.99 Domino's pizza.
Oh man!
Can I chime in, Cody? I just noticed what's on your hat. So it's a shrimp smoking a cigarette, and from a guy from coastal North Carolina, that's a pretty sweet hat.
Yeah. Quick shout out to govx.com. They sent me this hat and some seafood to do a seafood boil video tonight. That's why I'm wearing it.
Is that a crawfish or a shrimp? I think that's a shrimp. That's a shrimp. I've peeled enough of it.
I think the listing said crawfish. So
I think it's a crawfish.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like a shrimp.
I'll have to recheck it.
North Carolina mispronounces everything, so it's a crayfish.
It's a crayfish. It's a freshwater crayfish.
Well, that's all the questions. Yeah, that's all the questions I had tonight, guys. So please feel free to plug anything, talk about anything else before we get off here.
I was going to tell a story about Applebee's and that raccoon. Might have kicked out, but I guess we'll just say that for another time.
Go ahead.
So obviously we do a weekly show We've got some merchandise all available on our website. I'm going to plug Unky Seasoning for Adam, 100%, as well as his book. 100%. It will help you out a lot. And of course, anytime we can support our sponsor, the Burn Box, Tom from the Burn Box or FD Collectors Club. He's a super cool dude. Helps us out a lot on our stuff as well. So you guys got anything else as well?
I think Tom's
Patreon
kid. Yeah, I'll get over that. I think Tom's kid just graduated the FDNY Academy.
His brother, one of his many brothers.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I saw somebody and I thought it was his kid, but I'm like, yeah, I think his kid's too young. But yeah, cool. Yeah. So anyway, that's
It's really
you're not. Tom has been great to us. We love him.
He's really neat.
Patreon is a thing for us, man. We started it not too long ago. It's $2 a month to support us. We're pretty cheap. It gets you in a drawing once a month. We do a what we call our turnout drill, where we'll ask you a couple of questions and we'll get your answers to those questions. We also do a giveaway once a month where we give away basically a burn box or some cool stuff that you'll get from us. Yeah, it's not
just lazy.
Yeah, it's $2 a month, man. It's what's that? $24 a year. I mean, it's whatever. But it helps us promote things and push stuff on social media to broaden our reach, to expand our base, and just keep pushing the good word, man. So we're on Patreon, The Cool Fireman. Our website, thecoolfireman.com, we're on every social media platform you can think of. We're on every streaming platform you can think of. To our podcast, our video as well as audio. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all bearing with me during these technical difficulties during this episode. But that being said, conversation was great.
We, of all people, understand technical difficulties, Cody.
Tuck and roll, baby. Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll.
Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned. Like I said in the earlier episode, I'm hoping to be back on a regular schedule every other Monday. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on the next one.